Hey guys, and welcome to Solar Cabin Channel. It is November 11th, the Saturday, and it is Veterans Day. For those of you who don't know, this is the official Veterans Day in the United States. And so first thing I want to do is give a big shout out to all the veterans and their families out there and tell you how much we appreciate your service. If you will stay to the end of this video, I will talk about some services that are available for veterans. Especially helping people that are low-income veterans and possibly homeless for some programs that will help you to get solar panels and housing and things like that. So stay to the end of the video and you can watch that. But today in this video, what I want to talk about is how to run a fridge or freezer without any power at all. Now this is going to kind of be a no-brainer, but here in cold country, and it has been cold here. It has been down to 19 degrees and hanging out in the low 20 degrees here at night. Really cold. And I don't like the cold generally. However, when it gets that cold around here and the nighttime temperatures are staying below freezing, one of the benefits is I can now use a chest freezer outside, and I have this chest freezer here, and it is outside on the north side of my cabin in the shade where this thing will stay froze. Any food will stay frozen in it now, clear from probably it's November, but at least from December clear through March and sometimes into April. So 4 months, I can keep all kinds of frozen food in this chest freezer without using any power at all. And that's what I'm going to be doing today. Is I'm going to be taking the food out of my little chest freezer. I use an Alpicool 12-volt chest freezer in the cabin, which I've shown in other videos, and I'll show you when I go inside. I'm going to take my frozen food out of that. It's small, doesn't hold a lot of food, but it gets me through. But here it is winter. I may not be able to get to town as often. Also, it's the holidays and things like that. So I like to stock up on food that comes available that might be at a better price, like turkeys and hams and things like that. And so I'm going to use this chest freezer. And this freezer is not plugged into anything. And you can pick these up usually pretty cheap and sometimes even free. If you look around, you see someone throwing out an old freezer because it doesn't work anymore, snag it and use it like this. You can use it in winter, save you a whole lot on your power, and you can store more food than you would in your normal freezer. So it's a really good system. It works really well. And I'm going to go in, I'll show you my Alpicool C20 freezer that I recommend because it's only 45 watts. You can run it off just a small solar power system or even a power station if you want. And then in wintertime, if you're in cold country like I am, you can use one of these chest freezers, fill this thing up full of all kinds of food and meat. Now, if you're in a situation where you're worried about people stealing it or you have bears, you may want to put a lock on this. We don't have bears down this low in the mountains, so I'm not worried about that. And if someone's desperate enough to come in this yard with my two dogs that are here, then they're really desperate to get some food, and I'm not gonna shy them of letting them take a little bit of food if they need to. But I've never had that happen, so I don't keep a lock on my freezer. But you can put a lock on one if you want. All right, let me show you this Alpicool C20 freezer that you can also use that works really well. Okay, guys, so this is my Alpicool C20 freezer. This runs off of either 12-volt or 24-volt or AC power. And I use this and have had it here in my cabin for over 5 years, going on close to 6 years now, running 24/7. And I have had absolutely zero issues with this unit here. They do make several sizes, even really big ones with a separate freezer and fridge in them. I got this one, which is one of the first models that they came out with a long time ago when the company started out. And they've been in business a long time now, so they have really good products. And I have recommended these to a lot of off-gridders, campers, RVers, and things like that. Now, this unit here, it doesn't have a lot of room in here, but I've got a ton of stuff in here. I've got great big packages of hamburgers, about half a dozen TV dinners, my ice creams in here, and so this thing holds a lot. And I like the roof design, the lid design on this one, because it's indented, so you can actually stack it up above the level and then close it down. That's why I really like this unit. But there are other brands out there too, and I've got another brand here, an RF80, that works just as well. It isn't quite as well as insulated, and I don't like the roof feature as well, but it's a good unit. And there's a lot of different brands out there of these, so you don't have to just choose an Alpicool. I just happen to like the Alpicool because I know that they will last last a really long time. You can use them in your car, you can use them in your RV. I'm going to be taking the food out of this, which is frozen. Now, I've been using this as a freezer. It can be used as a freezer. You can set it so that just the bottom will stay frozen. Top stuff you can use as a fridge, or you can use it as a fridge or a freezer. I've been using this as a freezer for all my frozen goods over summer because I go down once a week and get stuff and can load it back up. But in winter, like I said, I may not be able to get it to town, so I'm going to be using my chest freezer. And also I want to reduce my load because I'm only using a small solar power system here at the cabin. So I'm going to take this offline. I don't need it over this winter now because I'm going to put my frozen stuff out in my chest freezer, and I have another one of these that I'm going to be using as a fridge freezer inside the cabin. Then I can just go out and take whatever meat I want out, meat or food I want out of that chest freezer, bring that in, put it in my fridge and freezer, unthawed that way if I'm going to be cooking it. All right, excellent units, Alpicool C20, or they have several models and larger ones on Amazon. Really good units. Okay guys, I said if you waited around to the end of the video, I would discuss more about veterans, being it is Veterans Day, November 11th here. And one of the things that you really need to be aware of is that a lot of veterans, when they come back from service, have seen a lot of stuff, went through a lot of stuff, and the result is sometimes they get severely damaged. PTSD along with physical disabilities and things like that, and sometimes they just don't do too well when they get back in the States. And sometimes they end up homeless. Sometimes they have problems with addictions, things like that. They're dealing with PTSD, many of them, and it can result in a lot of hardship for them. So I just want to be clear that there are programs out there, and I want you to know that these programs are specifically for veterans. They're for you. They're part of what we do to help veterans when they come back. And so I'm going to list some programs there in the comments or in the information for this video for you veterans, or if you have a family member that may be struggling and is a veteran and needs some help. These programs will help you to afford housing if you're homeless or struggling to find affordable housing. They will help you to get solar panels so you can set up your own off-grid system, and you can also get there's also programs available to help train you to work in the solar field or other fields for veterans who are excellent workers and very responsible people. I will also link down there to my website where I have absolutely free plans for small houses that veterans would be able to build if they have a piece of land, or their family has a piece of land, or someone wants to let them build on their property. You can have some of my free plans. You can go build one of those houses or shelters, and that will at least get you started to get back on your feet. All right, folks, big shout out again to the veterans and the family of veterans, and have a great Veterans Day weekend.